All right, SketchUp for the web is a little bit different environment than what we have been used to using in SketchUp. When we open a new drawing, for example, if you click on this folder here, you will have the option to create a new document. Also over here, this would be the opening screen that you come to when you first launch the program. If you click Create New, that's going to give you a new drawing. And it's really important here that you are working in simple template feet and inches. SketchUp Online, or SketchUp for the web, doesn't necessarily offer all the templates that regular SketchUp does, so simple feet and inches will work for what we're doing just fine. So when we go into simple template feet and inches, this is the template that opens. It does open up with a person in the drawing, and I'm not sure what happened to the nose and the mouth, but that's okay. It must still work. She has a phone, so she must be able to talk. So the very first thing I'm going to do is simply click on that person and delete them. Kind of looks like our life with COVID-19. So over here, any tool with a little triangle means that there's more tools on. So when I click there, for example, you've got the regular pencil tool and the freehand pencil tool here. Here's our arc tools and the different arcs that we use. Circle, here's your rectangle, rounded rectangle, circle, polygon, texel, and so on and so forth. So all the tools that we've used in the past are here, and some of the other items that we're concerned about are over in some of these menus, and I'll click on those as we go. Sometimes I'm going to be kind of looking for the tools myself, so bear with me sometimes, so don't feel bad. Until we get used to this environment, it's not going to be perfect. So let's go ahead and get started with the mousetrap drawing. First of all, we want to start in top view. Well, none of that is up in the menus like it used to be. Okay, so your views are over here. You've got views and you have display. Right now we're going to go into views, and right up in here are your different views. So I'm going to make sure that I start on top view. So when I go to top, obviously the drawing goes to top like we're used to. And then I want to get these menus out of my way, so I click on that arrow right there, and it simply collapses them. When we want that back, we would just click on this again, and these different menus come back up. So I'm on top view. I'm going to get that out of my way. I'm going to go ahead, get my rectangle tool, click at origin, move up just like we always did. I'm going to type in 8,3, press return, and again, just like always, this is very small. Okay. So to zoom in, it's still like before, Shift Z. So I zoom in, and there we go. Again, 2 fingers forward and back on the trackpad will zoom you in and out as well. Okay. The next thing I need to do is I need to place my mousetrap onto the car. Okay. And to do that, I have to import a file. In order to insert a file, I'm going to go to the File folder menu over here and select Insert. So I go to Insert, and I'm going to click on My Computer. So when I click there, I can go into my Google Drive. Yours is going to be a little different because you're on a Chromebook, but essentially you're going to go into Google Drive, and you are going to find wherever you downloaded the picture of your mousetrap, and there's mine, and I click open. This is kind of a new screen. Here, you want to insert it as a component. So I click on it, and just like in the old SketchUp, there it is. So I'm simply going to drop it on the rectangle, rotate it. You can really rotate it either direction, doesn't matter. I'm just going to rotate it so that I'm back to red axis and drop it. Now I want to orbit my drawing. Excuse me. I want to orbit it so that I can see the back edge of the mousetrap here and kind of the back edge of my rectangle. I'm going to get my move tool, your move tool right over here. Again, keyboard shortcut of M. So if I simply click M on my keyboard, I'm going to grab the mousetrap by the midpoint in the mousetrap. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to slide it right back to the edge, and I'm going to drop it again. I don't think I quite got that where I wanted to, so I'm going to make sure that I get it here. So I've got the midpoint in the mousetrap. I'm going to drag it to the back edge of my rectangle, and I'm going to drag it on this back edge until I find the midpoint of that. I don't seem to be at a good angle, so I'm going to orbit a little bit more. I'm going to grab it from the midpoint, slide it to the back edge until it, oh, right there, that blue dot is the midpoint of the rectangle. So you want to get the mousetrap in the middle. Sometimes you got to orbit around a little bit. Just find what it is that you need to do. And then once I have it centered left to right here, I'm going to move it forward on the car. And this I can move later, but the point is you want it centered side to side, and then you can always move it forward and back as you design your car. So I'm going to click back there, and then I want to return to top view. So I go back to the views menu, click on top view, close the window, and now I'm looking at the car from straight on again. Now I'm going to start designing the car. This is when I want to use my tape measure. Now, I realize that probably at this point, if you're doing this video because you haven't drawn this, you don't have your sketch. Okay, it's fine. Just go ahead and free design what you want the car to look like, trying to remember some of the things that we talked about when we were in class. And that things like axle access, that's the primary one, is your axle access. So I'm going to create a guideline from front to back here. I'm going to maybe come back, again, I'm making this up, so I'm going to come back 2 inches. And then I'm going to get my 2-point arc tool. That's the easiest one to use, the 2-point arc tool. I'm going to click on find the midpoint in the front of the car. And then I'm going to go up to this intersection here with these 2 lines. I'm going to click there. And then I'm going to move my mouse out until it says tangent. Now, I don't have to do tangent to the edge. I could pick something less than that, but I would have to type in what I want that distance to be. One of the things you do want to be careful of is don't go outside of the car, because when you do this, now the car is actually wider than 3 inches. So I'm going to undo that. I'm going to go back to midpoint, come up to the edge, and then come out. I think I'll do 1/4. Why? Because I want to. So then I'm going to click here, come down to this edge, come out, and I want it to match. So I'm going to type in again 1/4, and now this curve is a mirror image of that curve. I'm going to get my eraser tool out, and I'm just going to simply click and drag across those 2 lines, click and drag across those 2 lines. And now I've got a pretty decent shape in the front of the car. Now I'm going to move to the back of the car, create a series of guidelines. Click on the back. I think back here I'll come in 1.5 inches. I think I'll come down maybe 0.75 here. And same, come up here, 0.75. And let's see here. I think I'll come down 1/4. And same from the bottom, come up 1/4. Get my line tool, click, 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 and then I'll erase that section. And now this is where my axle is going to go through. I'll be able to wrap my string around my axle. Again, you draw the car the way you want the car to look. I'm going to go ahead and add 2 more little design cues to the car here. Erase this. And get my line tool. I'm going to come here to here to here. And I'm going to erase this. And now that I've got the car designed, I'm going to go to my display menu, and this is where you can delete all your guides. So I click on delete guides, and all of my guides are gone. Again, collapse that menu, and now I'm in pretty good shape as far as what I want my car to look like. At this point, you do have to save these drawings. These are not automatically saved, so you have to click on save, and I'm going to be saving it here. It says save to, and it says select project. This is pretty much where you're going to be stuck saving things, which is fine. Down here, enter a model name. I'm going to call this one, oh, I don't know, let's call it 7 underscore mousetrap car underscore my last name. Of course, here, this is where you would put your period, whatever period that happens to be, whether it be 2nd period or 7th period, and then, or actually, I guess, first period or 7th period, and click save here, and your drawing is now, as you can see up here, it says it's saving, and when it's done, it'll say saved. The final thing you want to do with this drawing is using the push-pull tool. Take this surface and you're going to push it down 0.75, press return, that is the thickness of your car, and then at this point click save, and that will update the drawing. As you can see, it was saying saving, and now it's saved. That concludes the video 1 of designing the mousetrap car. Good luck. If you have questions, make sure you either send me an email or come and see me from 9 to 10 on my Google Meet. That would be awesome. I'd like to see you. Bye-bye.